Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I am Alexia. Welcome to Fireflies with me. Today we're gonna be checking what is in store for you for the month of July. So for today I have three piles that you can choose from. I'm gonna show you the crystals closer up, and each pile is gonna have a different deck. So I'm also gonna show you the card that came out when I was shuffling to prepare for your readings. And yeah, you can pick whichever one or ones you feel called to the most. But yeah, for pile one, we're gonna have these. Can you see clearly? These are, I believe in the store they were called Amergreen, and they're Ametrine as well. They're the same thing. And we're gonna be using the Tarot of Marseille for you, and your card is number 21, the World. For pile 2, we have this Chrysocolla, and your tarot is the Spiritsong Tarot, and your card is the Three of Shells, which is the Three of Cups, with keywords playfulness and bliss. And for pile 3, oopsie, we have these Heliodore as stones for you, and your tarot is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated, and your card is number 19, the Sun. Okay, so I'll leave you with some time to pick which pile you're drawn to the most. I'll have the timestamps down below, and I will catch you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. So if you chose the Amergreen and the Tarot of Marseille, this is going to be your reading. First thing, I just want to apologize. It's really, really hot at the moment in my city, and so I have my fan on. I'm using a little mic, so hopefully you cannot hear it, but yeah, I'm very sorry if it's a bothering like background noise. I'll try to make it work for today. But yeah, let's get into your reading. So first we're gonna see, wait, I didn't even show you the breakdown for today. So we're gonna have, I wrote vibe check, but it's energy check with these oracle cards, and then with the tarot we're gonna be checking what area of your life you should focus on, you're invited to focus on, what main challenge or challenges you can expect, any advice on how you can navigate them in the best way to make like the most of your time this month, and what's something you're already doing that you should keep doing. And the bottom of the deck is going to be like maybe a clarification or a confirmation for the energy of the month as well. But yeah, as for your oracles, so the first one you got is number 43. It's like family of pillars. If I try to translate that, your second card is with number 10, the present or the gift, and your third oracle is number 16, and that is Enchanted Fern Grotto, if I'm not mistaken. And the keyword is refuge. Yeah. So, what I got from these all together is that you could this, I was going to say this season, but this month, uh, finally find like a safe space. I'm sorry, there's a little insect on your card. Um, a safe space and people who help you build a safe space. And that's kind of your gift this season. You're receiving this gift of being surrounded by people who help you build a safe space and preserve your peace. With this card, one thing that it says is I am at the right place at the right time. So it definitely feels that no matter what happened before for you, it's kind of here to reassure you that your journey was necessary to get to where you're meant to be, where you're meant to go. Um, and that on your journey, you're gonna find people who are here to help you build safety and stability and maybe confidence, even if that's something that's been lacking for you. And in turn, once you yourself feel more secure in that energy as well, you can help others build that. And this July, you could very well realize how important in your journey or in your life you helping others build something sturdy and secure is important to you, how much that means to you, how much that's something you want to implement in your life, if that's not something you're already actively doing. But yeah, you're becoming aware basically of all that you can do, all your skills, all your capabilities, everything you bring to the table in a way. And you're managing to align what's within you, like your heart, your mind, your actions, so that you can build or help build something that is beneficial or that's gonna be, yeah, like big foundations, sturdy foundations for something better, if I can put it like that. But yeah, more than anything, it's you finding how you can serve the greater good, if I can say, in a way where you're not sacrificing part of yourself or your health or anything like that to make it work and to build something. With the gift, well, this card is just basically that a positive surprise is incoming. It could be, well, it could be an actual surprise. If it's your birthday season, for instance, you could get a very significant gift or something that really makes your heart warm, if I may say. But it can also be that you're becoming more secure and that you feel safe and that you feel safe standing your ground and standing in your power and taking up space in a way, or taking up your space because you deserve to do that. So yeah, it could be like an actual gift. Again, you will see, maybe in July you'll receive something really really nice or that you've been wanting for a while. And yeah, it's like you've been looking for something specific for a while and all of a sudden someone gifts it to you just without even knowing or something like this. That could be what happens. But yeah, that's like a really beautiful energy. And with the refuge, it talks a lot of finding refuge within yourself. That's definitely a very good time to reconnect with like your intuition, your inner guidance. If you felt quite disconnected from it recently, July is going to be a great time to like work on that and dedicate some time to that. Um, if you've had to be like present for others recently, you're getting more time with yourself so that you can also get to know yourself better. It's not going to be a month where you're going to be expected to do so much for other people or to be asked to go out or left and right every single day or to run errands for other people. You're going to have a lot more time with yourself. And it could be, well, a surprise, I was going to say at first, or, if you've been really running for others for a while, it could be a bit surprising, but in the sense of, oh, I don't know what to do with all this time on my hand for me now. But that's just going to be maybe a little time to adapt to that will be necessary. But ultimately, I do strongly believe that you're going to find your balance and that's going to help you see what you like to do for yourself and not for others. And when you have time for you, what do you turn your attention to? What do you tend to? What's the first thing that pops up, that you'd like to dedicate time to? All these kind of things. That's going to be a really good month for that. Another thing that this card tells you, I mean, it's the refuge, so it's a bit of a slowdown. So if you have if you have big projects, July may not be the best time to start them. However, it's going to be a really good month to like plan ahead and ask yourself again about your true desires. And that's where this time with yourself is so so important, because once you know that, you know what your goal is. And oh my god, I'm sorry, this little thing that keeps popping in and out. um but yeah, once you know that, it's a lot easier also to map out your way to that goal. And yeah, it's gonna be a better time. This time will be better used to map out and plan ahead how you can reach the goals that you define, or the desires that you realize you have. And so when you manage to really give yourself little steps and like little levels of achieving things, then they become a lot more tangible. Like it doesn't seem like such a big dream all of a sudden. It's just little things that you have to do to get there. And yeah, July is going to be a great time to like do this. Also, I'm fairly sure that for most of the month we're gonna be having Mercury in retrograde. So if you're really into astrology, usually it's a time to think back on things so you can check which house this is happening to for you. It's retrograding in Cancer, so whichever house you have Cancer in, this could be an area of your life where you really think back on how well you have behaved, other people have treated you, and what you want in the future for that for you. And yeah, if you look it up and that does not resonate at all, just discard this. But it could be like coming up, and definitely a good time to think back, plan ahead, be honest with yourself about what it is that you want. And it's okay if you get a bit in your head, as long as at the end of the process you can be more clear with yourself and what you truly desire again. But yeah, also with the refuge, it really says that it's a safe moment for you. So it's a time where you can be basically fully relaxed and at peace, and it's a great time to replenish your energy and feed into yourself as well. So you could be maybe the one gifting you things to make sure that moving forward your life is easier. Like you don't have to play on hard mode all the time. I know sometimes it can seem fun, but you can also move through softness. And yeah, overall, that's what I get for your energy. Um, a stronger support system. Maybe instead of you being there for others, it's going to be others being there for you this month, finally. And yeah, good surprises coming up. It could be material things or just realizations that help you move forward in a way that's either more aligned or feel not easier to get to where you want to go, but clearer. And once you have that, it's easier to have like all the little steps in between. So yeah, and you're going to be able to tend to yourself as well and take time for yourself. So I'd say that's not half bad for a start. Let me move this. We're gonna dive into your tarot. Um, can you? Yeah, we're gonna do this reading with a friend today, I feel. I'm gonna take this as a sign that you have like protection from wherever you think it's coming from. That's like a little guardian that you have. Okay, so moving on to your tarot, we're gonna see. Well, I've already told you the area of your life you're invited to focus on, the challenges, advice, what you should keep doing. I'm gonna take two cards for each question. For each question, like that's my intention. We'll see whatever comes up, but yeah. Okay, so pile one. First question we're gonna be checking is, what area of your life are you invited to focus on this month? For my people of pile one, ooh, what area of their life are they invited to focus on this month? What area of the lives of my people of pile one are they invited to focus on this month? So we got the Seven of Pentacles and and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm gonna say you also have Pentacles at the bottom, and that's the Nine. Hang on, this deck is a bit bigger than my other ones, so yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're in the flowers. This, let's put it like this. I'm sorry. Um, I mean, with Pentacles, I definitely believe that I definitely see this as either your career or your finances. The Seven of Pentacles is, it can be more than one thing, but I usually receive it as being very patient and resilient, and you're putting effort into something, you're really tending to something, you planted the seed and you're tending to it to see it grow. And it's this intention and this idea of, do not try to reap your rewards before they're ready. It's like trying to pluck an apple from a tree, but it's not ripe yet, basically. It's not going to taste bad, but it's not going to be the best apple you've ever had. If you're patient and you wait for it to be like the perfect time, then you're going to have like the best apple you've ever tasted, right? So there's this idea of not rushing things, taking your time to tend to whatever needs tending to. Um, the pentacles, seeing that you have like three of them too, I do believe it has to do with your finances or like the way you make money. Um, or it can be your career, but for a lot of people their career is how they make money. So however that resonates for you. The Five of Pentacles can be a financial loss, so it's definitely an invitation to be mindful with how you spend. Basically, it could be that, oh, an example, you're told that you're gonna get either a bonus or a promotion at work, and so you're like, you go on a shopping spree and you spend more than you usually would with your like actual regular income, and then you find out that either the bonus is not coming in or it's not coming in yet. So you've put yourself in a situation that's a bit uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that you have nothing, but it's just uncomfortable. So that's something to be mindful of this month. These two together I really see as you needing to find balance in the way you spend, because in the long run, especially with the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom, I really feel like it's like not a windfall because you're gonna know when it's where it's coming from, but as long as you're mindful with how you spend and how you use your resources, you're gonna be fine. But try not to do things on a whim, be more mindful. Again, it's a lot about planning ahead. So if there are things you know you need or you need to do, obviously life happens, right? But yeah, it's more about being mindful and thinking long term. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. Think long term. Um, with what you have right now, how do you plan on moving forward? And if you do that and you do balance patience and mindfully managing your resources, I do believe that you're going to be more than fine in the end. Yeah. The next question is, what main challenge or challenges can you expect this July? For my group one, oh, I think we got two, three. So that's the High Priestess. We got the Six of Wands and the Page of Wands. No, that's the Seven of Wands, my bad. Yeah, that changes everything. Okay. So a main challenge could be, I do see them as being together. You might have to stand your ground on something that you want to, like maybe an idea or a project that you have that you want to see move forward, but there might not be physical or material proof of it being able to work or being put into place. It could be just an idea of a project for now, and it's kind of a bit blurry. The High Priestess, she's like the connection between the conscious and the subconscious. So I kind of see it as you having an idea for a new project, but it's not fully fleshed out yet. And you might want to talk about it to other people because, I mean, that's exciting. You're thinking of something new, right? But then you might be received with a lot of questions and questions on the project, on how you're gonna do it, on how you could achieve it, like what are the steps, and you don't know yet because it's an idea for now. And the Seven of Wands is really inviting you to stand your ground. It doesn't mean that you have to be defensive or anything like that, but it's okay to just have an idea and not know the full story of how it's going to play out yet. Again, we've talked about how July for you is most likely going to be a month of planning things out and mapping things out for the future. So if there's something that comes up that you want to start in your life, um, but you just don't know how yet, and you receive a lot, not of backlash, but of questioning of the possibility of your project coming to life and being successful, it's okay to defend yourself. It doesn't mean that you should not listen to anything that anyone else has to say because sometimes outside perspectives are good as well to help you process things or see things in different ways or have new ideas. You know, it's like a give and take as well. And I feel like some people around us are really good at just asking questions, but in a way that makes you wonder and kind of anchor your project in more concrete steps and tangible things, and not to make you like think that's the worst idea that you could ever had. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like that could be a challenge to maybe work on being more confident in your ideas and defend them. Yeah, I feel that's most likely, sorry, your main challenge. It's gonna be to not let yourself be drowned out by other people's perspectives and not letting yourself believe that just because some other people don't have the same vision as you do means that your way of thinking or your projects are wrong, basically. Like, you know what's best for you, what you truly desire deep down. And I strongly believe that if that's like aligned with you, it's gonna work out in some way. And at least you have like for yourself, you have to try and see how it goes, because if you never try, you're never gonna know, and it most likely would be a regret. And these are the hardest things to overcome. So yeah, now can we get maybe some piece of advice on how to navigate this challenge, please, for my people of pile 1? Can we get a piece of advice on how to navigate this for my people of pile 1? We're gonna take this. Let's take these two. So we got the Four of Cups and the King of Swords. You got the star at the bottom of the deck, so I feel that ultimately maybe it could be that some people are a bit scared of how bright you shine. I know that's a bit cliche, but sometimes it's true that some people cannot comprehend that you want more or that you want different, and it's this thing of feeling threatened by how bright you shine, as if that was gonna burn them instead of light a new way. Anyways, I digress. So Four of Cups and King of Swords. Four of Cups, as advice, I really see that as try to stay open and to see things for what they are. The Cups is a very, like, not sentimental, but it's a lot about feelings, right? So try to, well, that's, where am I going with this? Like, see the facts for what they are. Um, Maybe if you have some people questioning your plans, ask yourself, what can I get as advice from them? Are they in a position that you're wishing to be in? If not, then why do you take their input as something of value? And I don't mean that it's zero value, but it's like don't take advice from people you don't want to be in the shoes of, basically. And do feel, that's something that's coming up a lot for me and in readings that I do recently, like feeling in your body. I think I've mentioned that before, but I strongly believe that your body is, well, the means that we have to evolve in this world, but it's also the device that our souls use to communicate with like our egos and our minds and everything. Um, so yeah, being more in your body and in what you feel, and not emotions, but body feelings, like of, do you feel safe? Do you feel excited? Because that's how you're gonna know if the direction you're going in or the projects you have are really something that you should uh, dedicate time to. And with the King of Swords, again, it's very clear and logical. So it could be that either for the plans you have, seeing the facts and have logical, like, input and way of putting things out, or, and maybe it's both, when people come up to you with very, not weird questions, but coming from nowhere, it could be good if you had a very logical explanation, or it doesn't have to be super detailed, but a kind of like roadmap that you could show them, something that's very logical and step by step. Yeah, so they can't, I feel it's harder to question something when you have strict facts and like a plan and a map to it, than when someone is like, oh, I'm feeling like this and that, because that's when other people tend to play on the lack of confidence, maybe. And I'm not saying that they're doing this from a place of wanting to devalue your projects or things like that. It can come from a place of worrying about your well-being too. But yeah, coming at it from a more logical perspective and like being more open, also seeing all that is already working with the life you have at the moment, even if there are things you want to change, realizing all the foundations that you have built that are helping you move forward, then you can build on these foundations. And it could, in kind of conflictual exchanges or relations, have people realize that you're aware of what's good already and that you're not just throwing everything to the wind. So, yeah, that's the main advice. Okay, and last question, we're gonna see what's something you're already doing that you should keep doing this month. What is something that pile one is already doing and that they should keep doing this month? What is something that people of pile one are already doing that they should keep doing this month? Something. Oh. Ooh. And one more. What's something that people of pile one are already doing that they should keep doing this month? What is something? Okay. Ooh, okay. Bottom of the deck is Temperance, so definitely. Oh my god. Okay. Um, definitely a month for balance, and I feel like that's coming from a bit of everything here. And so something you're already doing that you should be doing is, so the Hermit and the Six of Wands, that's victory, and that's more like introspection. It is spending time with yourself, but it doesn't mean that you have to be completely isolated, but it's just really diving into what you want and truly desire. And so I'm guessing you've been doing that already. With the Six of Wands, as something you should keep doing, because my first thing seeing these two together was you being introspective and really taking the time to find your guiding light, is going to lead to your victory in your project, your success in your projects. I could see this like as something to keep doing, more as focusing on what is going right, giving more importance to the things that are going right in your life than to the things that you'd like to change. And yeah, in turn, that's not eating away at your energy as much, so you can give more to it, to your actual projects and things you want to see grow in your life. But overall, your month of July seems a bit more introspective, but that's helping you really reconnect with what you truly desire, and that could see like not the birth of a project, but like the idea is emerging, and that's giving you the time to plan ahead so that you can put it into motion. Maybe in August, or when like life I was going to say life starts back again in September. That's not that's not it, but like after the big break. And yeah, it's going to be a lot about finding balance between having the idea, not letting it like completely die in your mind, but taking the time to set it into motion so that it has a strong foundation to be built upon. Yeah, pile one, this is what I have for you today. I hope that was a little bit insightful and uplifting. But this is what, yeah, I'm gonna leave you with. So do let me know if it resonates. If it doesn't, just leave it all behind. You know better than anyone what is and isn't for you. A little announcement, I have opened my Etsy shop, so I will put the link in the description below as well. I only have two readings I'm offering at the moment. There's the July reading and the summer reading. So if ever you'd be interested in something a bit more personalized, feel free to contact me on there. If not, I'll hopefully see you in the next one here. And in any case, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. It was an honor and a pleasure to spend this moment with you. I hope you have a beautiful month of July. And yeah, just take the very best care of yourselves. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. So, if you chose the Chrysocolla Stone and the Spiritsong Tarot, this is going to be your reading. I realized I did not get into the breakthrough of today's reading in the intro, but first we're going to have like your vibe check for the month with the oracle cards, and with the tarot we're going to check what area of your life you're invited to focus on this month, what main challenge or challenges you can expect, any advice on best navigating them and like have the best month ever, and what's something that you're already doing that you should keep doing. Yeah. And bottom of the deck is going to be like a little confirmation or a bit more insight into the energy of the month as well. So yeah, let's dive right into your oracle. Oh, what? Oh my god. You know what I did? When I prepared for the video, like to film, I think the card at the top of your tarot deck, that should have been the one I would have shown you in the intro, got stuck, oh sorry, to your oracles. So I showed you the three of shells when it should have been the six of feathers. Oh, that's quite the that's a bit of a different energy, I'm gonna say. Um, this one is transition and insight. This is the six of swords, so I'm gonna keep them to and like keep that in mind for the rest of the reading. As for your oracle cards, we got number 24, Carnelian. You got two of these ones, and you got 28, money, and 37, sickness. Sorry, boy. And number 34, this is the secret spring with keyword success. Do I want to take this here? I feel like since it got stuck, it would be a good idea. We'll see. First thing I want to say that came to mind when I saw both money and sickness come out together was maybe be mindful of not sacrificing your health for a few coins. And like I know that in today's world that's so easy to say, but given the circumstances, like we do what we can to survive basically. um But if you have either a say or some kind of freedom in that, try being mindful and seeing if it's really worth it, or if it's just gonna be more of a challenge than a benefit, basically. For the rest of your cards, so with this card, we have like a little quote, and it's I connect to the sacral chakra. In the way it's written in French. I would have literally translated it as sacred chakra. And I do believe that there's a different way to say it in French that would be closer to sacral. But yeah, it could be like a reconnection to your divinity or your like your non-human side of yourself. This one does talk of reconnecting to your femininity, like no matter the gender you identify as, it's more about like the qualities of connected to creativity, um, attracting more than like doing or going after. And like where can you bring softness into your life? Where can you welcome it so that it doesn't feel like you're always like go, go, go and pushing for things, but also letting things flow to you if they're meant for you, or away from you if they're just hindering your growth in any way. Um, if you have this stone, it could be a good idea to work with it. It's here to boost creativity and vitality, and also self confidence and spirituality. So it does help you accept yourself as you are, and also in conceptualizing new projects. So seeing the different steps that you can put in place to see them come to life, basically. Then with these, and you see that the hands are kind of tied to receive the money, it could be a good month to assess where you like how and where you spend your resources, especially when it comes to money, as is written on this card, and maybe also your mindset around it. Like if you have some blockages around money, or if you're letting yourself be like ruled by it, or if you believe that you can only receive it through hardships or pushing for it, or that kind of things, you also deserve to have a soft life and to have the necessary means to live a beautiful life without struggling and suffering. And it's also a good month to ask yourself, do you value yourself only through your material possessions? And if so, maybe trying to dig into why that is, where it's coming from, and how you can like outgrow that, because you're so much more than what you own. And it's a good month to realize that and to embody your fullness, like as a human being who comes from the divine too. So yeah, it's like finding this balance. It doesn't mean that you have to completely let go of the material world, because if we're here, there's a reason. But maybe see if you're letting it rule your life a bit too much. And again, I say that while remembering that we live in a society, like today's world is in the state that we know, and like you do what you gotta do to survive as well. But if you have the possibility, definitely a good moment to like work on that a bit. But yeah, this is a lot of also knowing that everything is possible, and instead maybe of thinking that you only deserve hardships because that's what you've known, try to learn from them, and from your challenges, because they can definitely help propel you forward, and maybe also help you see how much you've overcome and how much you're capable of. So do let that build your self-trust, your self-confidence, and like try, if it's something you struggle with, again, try working on trusting that you deserve your wins, and that honestly, even if you don't, they're on their way anyway. Like, you have the success card. There's just this, I feel it talks a lot more about your mindset more than circumstances. And this month, there could definitely be a mindset shift, especially with the Six of Swords. Again, it wasn't supposed to be there, but with the transition and insight, it's making me think that you're going to be able to look back on your life. I've mentioned that in pile 1 too, but most of July we're going to have Mercury retrograde, which is a good time to think back and like not reanalyze, but reassess where we're at, what we're doing, how we're doing things, if it's really for the best for us. Um, and yeah, it really feels like there's a mindset shift that helps prosperity enter your life, because you're with, like, in hindsight, you're realizing that everything you've got, everything you've accomplished, maybe you didn't, it's not maybe, you didn't, you didn't deserve to go through all the hardships that you have to accomplish that. You don't need to suffer and do things the hard way to enjoy softness and beauty and a beautiful life and something that's comfortable for you, basically. And it's kind of like you're letting go of that belief that you need to struggle and to deserve things to have a beautiful life again. Um, and then it helps things flow to you. This card, it's kind of linked to Celtic legends, and they think that secret springs are a way to connect with the divine. So maybe working with water, or if there's a body of water near where you are, it could be a good idea to visit it this month and, yeah, use it as a way to reconnect with your divinity as well. But what it's really calling you to do is to try to identify where you're either forcing things or creating blockages in your life, so that you can kind of break the shackles, if I can put it like this, and finally flow and float and move in the direction of your dreams without forcing things. And I know it's so easy to say, oh, you have to let go and then things will just flow to you. And I don't know, is that true? Maybe I just haven't let go hard enough. I don't know. But it's just this, it's not necessarily that once you do, everything will be working out right away, but you're gonna be also having a lot more energy to dedicate to what's important to you, because you won't be using it to, like, block yourself in a way, or to think of the worst case scenario, basically. Yeah, this is gonna be a month of really maybe even reshaping how you perceive yourself and what you deserve. And I do think that you're going to realize that you deserve a beautiful life, because, like, why not? You're a good person. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have things to be happy about. All right? Okay, let's dive into your tarot. Okay, so pile 2. The first thing we're gonna see is what area of your life you're invited to focus on this month of July. What area of their life are the people of pile 2 invited to focus on this month? What area of their life are the people of pile 2 invited to focus on this month? Oops. So we got the Six of Wands with success and triumph, and we're gonna take another one. What area of their life are the people of pile 2 invited to focus on this month? Okay, and the Eight of Cups with quest and renewal. and you got the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with control and security. Ooh. These are very different energies. I would say though, the the Six of Wands is the victory card, and the Eight of Cups is usually the card of leaving things behind because they're not aligned with you anymore. And it doesn't mean that they're not like working, because usually it's something you've worked quite hard on, that you've built, but you realize that that's not aligned anymore and you need something new. It's a shift again. So I feel like what's going to be important to focus on for you this month is to see everything that you have built and be proud of that and be grateful for all of that, while still being able to leave behind what is no longer you. With the Four of Pentacles at the bottom and the control and security, it's making me think that you could be in a situation that feels like safe because you are the one in control of it, or it's something that you've known. It might be time to let go of that and follow what your heart is calling for. And if you don't start this month, it's okay. Just be open to receiving the nudges that are going to push you or attract you in the direction that is meant for you. Because when you do, I don't see why it wouldn't work out. But it's a lot of a time to assess what it is that you truly desire and to plan ahead your way out of what you don't want anymore or what is not serving you anymore. Now, for the aspect of life in itself, honestly, it could be, I want to say it could be anything. It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a dynamic, because with the cups and the wands, I want to say that it's most likely something that is close to your heart, because the cups are the emotions and the wands can be like passion. So I do think that that's something that you've poured a lot of yourself into. But like, you know that something is coming to an end. You need something new. And it could be also that you've finished. The six are not usually the end of cycles, but since that's a victory, you've accomplished something. Like, you've been to the end of a goal, you've reached a certain goal, you've gone to the end of maybe not the full journey, but you've reached a very important checkpoint, and you're like, okay, I've done all of that. I could keep going on that journey, on that path. However, I see that there's something else that's calling to me, and you might veer off track. The Eight of Cups can be that, taking the path less traveled. So it doesn't have to be like all bad. Like, you've accomplished something great, and you have this, sorry, and you're like, well, now I need something new. Like, it was fun. I'm glad I did. I'm grateful for what I've learned along the way, but this is not the rest of my life. So, yeah, it could definitely be a new start that you're working on. And it's okay if it's unknown. Like, you're gonna find your footing along the way. Next question is, what main challenge or challenges you can expect this month? What main challenge or challenges can my people of pile 2 expect this month? We got the Page of Wands. That's funny. Discovery and enthusiasm. Oh my god. Let's take just these two. You got the Empress at the bottom of your deck with beauty and abundance. So it could be something new that needs you to be creative, and that might be something you haven't tapped into in a while. So yeah, we'll see. Oh my god, you only have wands. I do feel that's a new project that's really going to require something from you that you haven't given either yet or in a very long time, a part of you that you haven't tapped into in a long time. With the Page of Wands, oh, pile one got that one too for this. So it's discovery and enthusiasm. And I'm gonna read these two together. So 7 of Wands again, determination and stamina, and 10 of Wands, responsibility and dedication. I do feel that these are two different challenges regarding the same project, if that makes sense. So the Page of Wands as a challenge, I see this as you having a new idea, a new project that you want to implement. And the page is the very start of it, it's the idea. So the challenge could be that you don't know how to put it into motion yet. That's okay. That is okay. You can take your time to plan ahead every little step. With the Eight of Cups here as a focus of your month, again, I feel like that's the focus is change, and the challenge is that the change comes from you having a new idea and wanting to make it work and bring into life, and not knowing how. Another challenge, um, the Seven of Wands. Wait a minute. Pile one got these two as challenges as well. I'm sorry. If you were debating whether to watch pile one or not, maybe that can be an invitation. I don't know. Take it however it comes to you. But yeah, having these two together, Seven of Wands is a lot also about having to stand your ground. So it could be that maybe people around you don't see your project as viable or something that you can put into motion, and you're gonna have to like stand up for yourself and be like, this is what I truly believe in, this is coming from my heart, this is coming from my soul, and this is what I want. And the Ten of Wands is, it can be like the overwhelm of having to like hold all of these tasks or all of these things to do. Seeing these two together, it's making me think, especially with stamina and responsibility, that the challenge could be to pace yourself. You don't have to do it all at once, you don't have to do it all in a day, you don't have to do it all alone. So yeah, first challenge would be like the vision for your project. How do you cut it into smaller little steps to get there? And like both pacing yourself, delegating where possible, while still standing your ground. If that's what you truly believe is right for you, you know better than anyone, always. But yeah, with the Empress, creativity is going to be a big thing. And again, we were talking about like the feminine energy. Again, whichever gender you identify as, the Empress is the embodiment of that. So letting things flow to you as well. You don't have to figure it out like right the second you have the idea. But let's see if we can have like any advice on how you can like best navigate this. Oh, my ears ringing. We got the Hangman. Oh, the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. So Three of Swords, release and recovery. Five of Crystals, persistence and new possibilities. Oh, I like that. I actually love the Three of Swords in this deck. Usually it's the one with like the heart that's pierced by three swords, so not the brightest card in the deck. This one, it's a moth, and it really talks of how you, even if you're in the dark, and you've gone through some struggles, you're drawn to the light, and this has to be like your, well, guiding star. And as an advice, I see this as you using again your hardships as your strength. You've gone through all of that, but that built your resilience, that built your strength. You need to really see all you've overcome as a reflection of your dedication to a better life you're building for yourself, and a proof of like your character and how loyal you can be to like what you truly believe in. The Five of Pentacles usually can be financial losses. So I would just say to be mindful of how you use your resources, your material resources. But with this card, they talk about persistence and new possibilities. Confirmation card from my mom. Um, so it could be that something comes in from outside of you, like someone has ideas to offer, or like something you haven't imagined comes in and helps you move forward with your project. But the advice is to, yeah, just really believe in yourself. And it could be working a lot on your mindset. We've talked about that before. But when you feel yourself slipping back into thinking that you're not worthy, or that you need to struggle to make things work and things like that, try to reframe that and to speak kindly and softly to yourself, and to hold your hand while you're going through this whole process. You're definitely invited to let go of what's limiting you, in terms of beliefs in yourself, and to keep going. That's a ladybug. She's walking. I mean, she can fly, but here she's walking. I mean, she's gonna take a while to reach her destination if she keeps walking, right? So I kind of see this as you being very diligent on moving forward no matter what. Maybe she doesn't know she can fly, and maybe you're gonna realize that you can fly. That could be the new possibility. You have a goal, you have no idea how you're gonna get there. You think you have to get there at this one point, this one way, that you have to do it all on your own. Definitely try to let go of these beliefs, because I mean, that's not an advice, but it kind of feels like something that you cannot even imagine is going to come in, or you're going to realize that you're able to do something in a way that you didn't think was possible before. But yeah, just one step at a time. You keep going, you keep going. Try to keep a positive outlook and mindset on that project. Try to always, at the heart of it, and I understand that it's challenging and you have outside circumstances getting in your way and things like that. Try to always remember how excited you are to put this into motion. And when it feels impossible, hold on to this feeling. Hold on to this feeling, hold on to the life you know this is going to give you, and keep taking it one step at a time. That's the advice. Also, with the hangman at the bottom of the deck. Well, that's like shifting your perspective on things. And I had these two stayed on my deck when I picked up the deck. So, two of shells is the two of cups, so it could be someone coming in to help you. And the world is just the ultimate fulfillment. So, yeah, just keep going. The only way you can be disappointed is if you don't try and you stop on the way when you know you could have gone further. It doesn't mean that you have to do it all alone. But there's something, I'm sorry, I'm going on a whole tangent here. I went to a concert at the end of May, and the singer, he started speaking at the end of the show and talking about how music was really this light in the dark for him, and that's the thing that kept him going no matter what, and how he was hoping that we all had that one thing that kept us going. It can be more than one thing, but you know, that one thing that keeps you not necessarily motivated, but that's always there for you and keeping you taking step after step. And and that it could be like, yeah, the beacon that keeps calling you to that. And he did mention at some point, I don't have his exact words in mind anymore, but how keeping going is the most important things, and that like we would get there no matter how, no matter when. And that's something I honestly shed a tear at that point because I was not in the best mental space at the time. And it was really something I needed to be reminded of. And hopefully that can also help you today. We're playing the long run. I know we all want things to be like perfect right away. If you're not happy with your life, obviously turning it, like making it do a 180 within the night would be the absolute dream. Sometimes it's not possible. Just remember that you have this light within you and outside of you, and that they're both connected to each other and calling onto each other. And that no matter how long it takes you to reach your dreams and your goals, well, first you can make a beautiful life for yourself on the way there. And also, it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there, because the only important thing is that you reach that place, even if that place isn't even a physical goal, but reaching a certain like mindset or fulfillment within yourself. I actually believe that our physical goals, like our worldly goals, are there to help us grow and like deal with whatever we feel. But yeah, just do not give up, one step at a time. And I'm sorry I spoke for so long. I was not supposed to go on such a tangent for that. But yeah, now we end on a bright note. What's something you're already doing that you should keep doing? What is something that my pile 2 are doing that you should keep doing? What's something you're already doing that you're invited to keep doing? What's something pile 2 is already doing? Ooh, that you should keep doing? What is something? Oops. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Page of Pentacles at the bottom. Ideas and discipline. That is very good. So that could be like confirmation for the global vibe. That's not how you use global. General vibe. I'm sorry. As you can tell, English is not my first language. But yeah, a focus on, well, discipline and ideas. I'd see it more as you really dedicating time and committing to your new ideas and new projects. Also, I'm sorry, my mom's making her dinner, so if you hear any noise, this is what this is. But for something you're already doing that you're invited to keep doing, you have the Knight of Wands. You have so many Wands cards. Action and drive, and the Three of Pentacles, collaboration and productivity. So definitely stay motivated, like stay connected to what is your guiding force, and do not isolate yourself. Like let others help you, um, and help others in any capacity you have if you can, or of course, but not isolating yourself and staying guided by what really fulfills you. Um, like if that's something you're connecting with, that's definitely something to keep doing. So yeah, that is beautiful. Mhm. And that's actually what I'm gonna leave you with, pile 2. I hope that was a little bit insightful and uplifting. Um, and yeah, just let me know if it resonates. If it doesn't, just leave it behind. You know better than anyone what is and isn't for you. And yeah, I'm just gonna wish you a very lovely month of July. I have a little announcement. I have opened an Etsy shop. for tarot readings. I have two offers on it at the moment. One of them is for July and the other for summer season, the summer season. Um, so if you're interested for a more personalized reading, or if you just have any question, feel free to message me on there. But in any case, I'd like to thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. It was an honor and a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. So until then, please take the very best care of yourselves. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. I thought recording your pile. I had not hit record. Oh my god, so we're gonna do this again. So if you've picked the Heliodore crystal and the Ethereal Vision Illuminated Tarot, this is gonna be your reading for a little breakdown of what we're gonna do today. With the Oracle cards, we're gonna be having like a kind of vibe check for your month. And then with the tarot, we're gonna check what area of your life you're invited to focus on, what challenge or challenges you can expect this month, and any advice on navigating them to make the best of your time. And finally, what's something you're already doing that you should keep doing. And the bottom of the deck is going to be like extra confirmation for your energy check or little hints at something else. But for your oracles, so you have number 4. This is a play on word, so this says basically family of sister witches. Well, if you know French, you know that sœur in French is sister, and the word for witches is sorcières. So they have that as sorcières. You have number 9, work, and finally number 25, moonlight enchantment with keyword magic. What I mentioned the first time I tried filming this is that these 3 cards together make me think of you or life bringing magic and community back into your professional life. If ever that's been lacking, this month of July could very well see that change. And with this card, we have a little quote, and it says, I work with my sisters of light. So it could also be that this month you connect or reconnect with people you really feel aligned with, or that you share values and interests with, or people you want to work towards something that you have in common with, um, whether it be professional or just a project in your life. These also like refer to wanting or like longing for something different that's like more connected to and in service of the earth, so really reconnecting with Mother Earth, if you will, and like a greater good, something that's greater than you, that's bigger than our human self as individuals, but that's going to really benefit the collective and most people. And it a lot of it has to do with being connecting to the earth, like the planet and the environment and that you evolve in, and respecting what we live in, who we live on, where we live in. As human, we and not as human, but modern occidental societies, let's put it that way, I feel have kind of dissented the earth from our lives, where she's our like our roots and what sustains us. And I feel like you want to get back to that, to this connection, because that's what matters to you and to the people around you. It does talk of working for and with Gaia, so again, earth, and being able to see the beauty in everything. It could also relate to a soul awakening, or at least really aligning your work, what you do for work, or what you put your work and your efforts into, with your values. And this card is a new professional opportunity. That's like the main message. So it could be that July gives you this possibility to align your values with your work life, either a change of position or a change of job, or you realizing what it is that you really want to do and finding resources to go after that. It does a lot talk of not working on it alone, however. So, like, you have the two bees here, you have the witches that are connected together. There's a wolf on this card, and I'm fairly sure wolves are not lone creatures. We have the lone wolf expression, but they usually live in pack and they're very like family bonded. So there's this idea of community. Like bees, they're a full ecosystem, right? They're a full society. So, and each one has its own things to do, and everything works this way. So there's really a big highlight on community and you not doing all alone. One thing I did want to mention is like all these cards, when I look at them, I looked a bit in the guidebooks to dive a bit deeper, and a lot of them they used a specific word in French. All the guidebooks are in French, uh, and I would translate it to work, which is here again. However, the word used is the verb œuvrer, and in that word, which translates to work on something, the root it's closer to like artwork. If I give you like the verb in French is œuvrer, and you have a word like just a noun that is œuvre, and œuvrer translates to work, but œuvre translates to artwork. So there is this idea also that you're creating something that is either beautiful or that has more meaning than just like a machine or a system or something like this. There's there's really this idea of working for or towards something, but to create something meaningful that can be beautiful as well. With this also you have moons on both. It could be like the theme, it could be that like the veil is thin, so you definitely could feel the magic around you, and that this community, this support system that you have, you could feel it come from non-human realms as well. It's also calling you to trust your intuition, and that the light of the moon will always light your darkest moments or your darkest path. So you're definitely again invited to trust your intuition, because it's always going to guide you towards the best for you and ultimately for the best of others as well. But yeah, overall that's the main vibe, is the collective working in collaboration with others, and really reconnecting to your intuition. Like, listen to what you're receiving. It doesn't mean that you have to act upon it right away, but know that there might be something of value to you in what you're like picking up on. And yeah, ultimately that you're protected by your community, by your people around you, whether you can see them in the 3D or not. That's a big thing that came up as well. But yeah, let's dive into your tarot now. Okay, so first thing we want to see is what area of your life you're invited to focus on this month. For my Pirate 3, what area of their life? Okay, we got two. So we got the Eight of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Ooh, ooh, and the Devil at the bottom of your deck. Oh, that's the rest card under the Four of Swords. Um, honestly, it feels like this month you might be facing some limiting beliefs you have about yourself. The Eight of Swords, as you can see, she's like blindfolded. She has some kind of rope around her, but she could stand up, she could move around. There's like no one holding her down there. So the Eight of Swords is really about limiting beliefs, and it's all in your mind. Like, where are you your own worst enemy in your mind, where you tell yourself that you cannot do things, and in turn that prevents you from acting on some things you desire. The Four of Pentacles here I really see in the sense of you're holding on to some resources when maybe you don't need to. Mm. So this month, overall, you could, a main thing to focus on is where are you trying to hold control no matter what? Where are you getting in your own way? What are you keeping close, even if that's not for you anymore? It's this whole idea of where are you getting in your own way? Where are you not using the resources that you have to help propel you forward? And with the devil, it's really, to me, about looking in the mirror with this one and identifying where you have let yourself down, and like not on purpose, and that's okay. We all have things to work through, but you're finally ready to face it. And yeah, like to it's a month where you're gonna be able to take the blindfold off and realize that you can actually move around, you can actually use some resources to move forward on your path. It could be regarding your profession. I mean, you literally have the work card, so that would make sense. That the Pentacles is the like material world, um, like your finances and things like that. But overall, it could also be very internal, and you facing yourself and facing where you're not not providing for yourself, but putting your energy into going after what you truly desire because you keep feeding yourself limiting beliefs about your capabilities. Now let's see what the main challenge or main challenges could be for you this month by 3. What main challenge or challenges are you gonna be most likely facing? Oh my god. So you got the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Oopsie. Oopsie, oopsie. And you got the Nine of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is what you're striving to be, what you're striving to grow into. But you're getting in your own way. The Nine of Swords is just parasitic thoughts. It's anxiety. It's building something stressful in your mind, and not being able to like calm down and let it go. So maybe doing some, I mean, that's just my advice, not the advice we're receiving for now, but some kind of breath work or meditation or anything that could get you out of your mind, not that way, but like connect you back to your body basically and not stuck up there, could be a good idea this month. um with the Five of Wands, I do feel that some of these limiting things that are coming up could be also a reflection of what you're hearing around you. The Five of Wands is quite conflictual. Um, it's more about people wanting to be seen for what they do and what they are, and not being able to see eye to eye than actual deep rooted conflicts. Um, in some cases, it can even be playful, but seeing that it comes up as a challenge card, I say it could mostly be people may be expressing their doubts about your projects, or this is coming up a lot, or even on you, like you have an idea of what you want your life to look like, of what you want you to be, and maybe so far in life your experiences have not reflected that, and so when you express it, other people could question your ability to get there, and in turn that could have gotten to your head and make you doubt yourself. So yeah, main challenge is gonna be like up there in your mind, doubting yourself, anxious thoughts spiraling down, um having to maybe battle a bit with other people's either expectations or what they think of that you should be doing, you know, that kind of things. And you, again, you're just not seeing how you could reach that Queen of Pentacles. So that very grounded, that very poised, materially comfortable position. It's all within you though. And I feel like a big part of the work is going to be to work on your mindset and try to ease your mind a little bit. The Chariot is about like going no matter what. You got to keep going steadily, dedicate yourself to your projects, and the success should be yours. That's basically it. Let's see if we can get some advice for you on how to best navigate these challenges, this challenge. How can we best navigate my people of pile 3? How can they best navigate these challenges for my people of pile 3? Oh, that's cute. Let's get another one for my people of pile 3. How could they best any advice for it so that they can navigate these challenging times ahead? Okay, get the Queen of Swords. Oh, the Knight of Wands. So the Queen of Swords, she's a lot more logical. So one thing you're invited to do is definitely to look at the cold facts and then assess the situation. And you're probably gonna see that it's not as dire as you're thinking. Now I love these two together. Actually, this one so sweet. I know it can be seen as, in some readings, depending on its place and all, it doesn't always have the best meaning. However, in this instance, I love it. To me, this is one of the most light-hearted card of the tarot, and I see this as a piece of advice to be reconnecting with your inner child and that childlike wonder and whimsy. Like when you think about your childhood and your childhood self, what was feeding your fire? What was making you happy? What were you wanting to spend your time on? With who, doing what, you know, all that thing. So reconnecting to your inner child and really listening to what comes up could be a great idea at this time, because that was the time you were so innocent and just doing things because you wanted to and not because there were any expectations tied to them. So it could be a good idea to reconnect also to that energy. What do I like to do? What do I want to do? Just for the sake of doing it, and not because I need to make money from it. I need to get like a full time contract out of it. I need to show people how interesting I am, you know, that kind of thing. Just what would you do for you when no one's watching and when it's just to have a good time and enjoy yourself? And with the Knight of Wands, that's going after your passion. So reconnect, hear what comes up, and that's gonna give you like a direction, or like that's gonna open a path. And the Knight of Wands is just a big invitation to go that way and to go after it. The Knight is just, he's taking action, and the Wands is the passion, the fire suit. So he found what it is he wanted, and now he's running with it. So yeah, I really do like that for you. And as advice, it is, these are very heavy cards. Like most of the ones that you got, they're very heavy cards. So it's definitely however you can, and I understand that with life circumstances it's not always possible or it's not always easy, but however much you can, try to reconnect with the lightness of life. Letter 3, I'm so sorry, my phone shut down because it overheated. Maybe the candle during a heat wave isn't the best idea, but we're making it work. Hopefully you got the full message, but to sum it up, just in case, reconnecting with your inner child and what was bringing like whimsy into your life and lightness into your life as a child, and going after that and basically reigniting your passion. But now we're gonna see, to end on a bright note, what is something you're already doing that you should keep doing? For my people of pile 3, what's something they're already doing that they should keep doing this month of July? What is something Puff is already doing, okay, and should keep doing? Let's get another one. What is something my people of pile 3 already doing that they should keep doing? Bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Cups, so it's making me think. The Eight of Cups is walking away from something that is no longer working for you, even though there's nothing wrong with the thing itself. So I actually really like that energy for you. Because even though we have like all these heavier cards and these big highlight on like your mindset and how you see yourself and your confidence and things like that, I do trust that you will be able to leave behind a certain way of thinking that has probably kept you safe and protected so far, but you're going to realize that what's out there is not necessarily dangerous, especially if you plan your steps ahead. Um, the Eight of Cups again is leaving behind something that you had worked to build. It is taking the path less traveled. Another group had this card at some point, and it is also taking steps even in the darkness. And it's, you have moons, you have a lot of moons. So again, oh, and you have the Fool just fell when I picked this up, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, you're ready to embark on a new journey. The Eight of Cups is also that, embarking on a new journey. It's not as light-hearted as the Fool card because it comes from you realizing that there's nothing left for you where you were standing. But the moon is just guiding your way in the dark. So the moon being your intuition as well. So now as for something you've been doing that you should keep doing, there's a storm going on, so if you hear any noise, that's what it is. So this Seven of Cups, it can be kind of wishful thinking. However, seeing that it's in a positive spot, I do see this, that either you have, maybe you were stuck in wishful thinking or wishful dreaming more than anything. It feels like you're gonna take action towards these little or big dreams that you have anyways. um it can also be having many opportunities presented to you. With the Eight of Wands, what I'm thinking is that now you're gonna be more proactive in what you pursue and less wary and less doubting on how to move forward. And when opportunities present themselves, you're gonna act more on them. And if that's something that you have been doing, that's probably, that was the question, my bad. I've been struggling, if you cannot tell. But yeah, it's been you've been acting quickly on things that required your attention. I feel like moving forward, it's probably gonna be things that bring in more positivity for you, but you still have that kind of go-getter energy in a good way, where you're ready to act. The opportunity is there and you're ready to act on it. Also, there might be an energy where you're not being fooled anymore and not as scared when you see things happening quickly. You're not as scared as going for it as you were before. you're not as scared to go for it as you were in the past, and you realize that maybe sometimes things happen fast, and that's a good thing actually, as long as you feel that it's right. There are opportunities that come up, and yeah, you have to catch them, but that's something that you've been like doing well. And oh, that's what I wanted to say. Another thing is maybe you've been getting better and you're gonna keep getting better at quickly figuring out what opportunity is good for you and which one isn't. And definitely, really, really try to, as much as possible, trust your intuition, because it feels like you're getting better and better at recognizing what's for you and what isn't, and acting on what is good for you and what's going to propel you forward. So yeah, that's a very beautiful energy, and that's actually what I'm going to leave you with, pile 3. I hope that was a little bit helpful, uplifting, insightful. Yeah, please do let me know if it resonates. If it doesn't, just leave it all behind. You know better than anyone what's for you and what isn't. And I just hope that you have a lovely month of July. It could be very transformative from everything we've seen, so you have it all within you to make the most of this time. Um, but yeah, this is me saying goodbye. I do have one last announcement. I have decided to open an Etsy shop for readings. For now, I only have two options available. So there's a July reading and a summer season reading, if ever you'd like to dive deeper into a personalized message, or if you have, I don't know, other questions you'd like to dive into, feel free to message me over there. But in any case, I hope that gave you a bit of an optimistic outlook on the future, or what to expect. And in any case, thank you so, so much for letting me do this reading for you. It was an honor and it was a pleasure to spend this moment with you. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. So until then, please take the very best care of yourselves. Bye.